Alrighty, hey, and good evening, everybody. This is Sherman Ray, and I'm the editor and chief of the Nevada Conservative. Thank you all for being a part of the broadcast today. You know, we've not done one of these shows in like forever. I mean, it just seems like forever, but we wanted to get back on because a lot of people have been asking about it. It's election cycle now time, and a lot of people have really been getting on me about, hey, Sherman, you need to put something out. So put this on your your weekly thing where you can get a part of this, because we're going to be able to get this to you pretty regularly, because I believe we've got a lot of time now. So for some of you, this might be your first time ever checking out the Nevada Conservative. We're actually online everywhere, guys. If you go to our Facebook page, we're on the Nevada Conservative. You can go to our website, thenevadaconservative.com, X, YouTube. We're on also Instagram. I believe we're on Instagram or something like that. I don't really do a lot of Instagram, but we do a lot of broadcast stuff. We got a lot of stuff out on our social media feeds, and especially on our website at thenevadaconservative.com. So if you get a chance, go over there and check it out. Also, if you get a chance, check out our Facebook page, because we're always updating that all the time, especially now during election season. A lot of people are up there checking us out, and I want you to make sure you get there. So I'm going to check out our YouTube feed. Our YouTube feed is up right now. So those of you who this might be your first time checking this out, we do have a YouTube feed up. The chat is open. We'll leave it open until the end of the broadcast, but I want to make sure that you actually get a hold of that, and that you're able to get a whole, be a part of that. So today we're going to talk about a couple of things. One is we're going to talk about the No Kings March that just happened just a couple of days ago, and especially here in Las Vegas. And we're going to talk a little bit about that. We're also going to be talking about these fraud allegations that we're seeing all over the place, especially in California, Minnesota. We're going to talk a little bit about that, but mostly we're going to talk about what's going on in America, and I think we're going to draw some parallels between the Democrats of old and the Democrats of new. But either way, you're going to see all those. So we'll be back in just a second, folks, and we're going to tie all this together, and I hope you're able to see it. Okay, this is Sherman Ray. This is the Nevada Conservative. We'll be right back in just a second. Right, and thank you all for being a part of the broadcast, folks. This is Sherman Ray. This is the Nevada Conservative. Some of you have probably said, "Man, I recognize that guy. I've seen him all over the place." Well, yes, I'm. It seems like I'm all over the place all the time, and mostly we do a lot of Christian broadcasting, that kind of stuff, and which is, I love it. Just love getting into the Word and spreading the gospel, that kind of stuff. But we also have on our media company, we've got a lot of political stuff. And really, the Lord put me in that position many years ago with Nevada Conservative. And we started this back in I think we started this in 2016-ish or something like that. Might have been that long ago. And we started, but we didn't make it into a full-blown newspaper until just recently, where, I got connected with the Republican Party again. And so now we're doing a full-blown newspaper. So you can check that out. And so, I got all kinds of stuff all over the place. And so let's do this. So recently, folks, we saw the No Kings marches. And one of the things that I do a lot of research on these things, and I was one of the things I was wondering about was who's funding these things. And, and that kind of thing. Well, see, here's the interesting thing about it, and many of you know George Soros, is Open Society, that kind of stuff. A lot of those guys do a lot of this stuff. I mean, they really do. But there's also this guy by the name of Neville Roy Singham. Write that down. Neville Roy Singham, Singham. He's a U.S.-born citizen. He's born in 1954 in Connecticut. He's a billionaire. And he founded ThoughtWorks. It's an IT consulting firm, and he sold it for like $785 million in 2017. And I guess since he had all that money, he decided he was going to go ahead and stab his own country in the back. And so since then, he's been funneling hundreds of millions of dollars to far left-wing causes. And it makes you wonder, what did we ever do to this guy? If this guy was able to do such a great thing, why does he do the things he does? Well, we don't know that. He's an avowed socialist, a Maoist. He lives in China and lives in Shanghai. And he maintains his businesses in food and consulting and media, that kind of stuff. He's a pro-Beijing outlet. He's funded, $1.8 million into all these little fiefdoms. But here's the thing that's the most important thing about it. He is actually one of the dark money guys that is behind the No Kings protests and a lot of the other things that are going on, these far left things. Now, if you're wanting to know, is there a No Kings organization? Is there that just that one overarching company? No, it's not that at all. But it's a lot of little bitty things that are funneled, that are being paid for by. So I'll give you some of the names of some of the organizations. The Party for Socialism and Liberation, or the PSL. It's a Twin Cities chapter, and they've got their hands in it. The People's Forum called on members to attend the No Kings protests. Answers Coalition and Code Pink. Let me give you a few more. The Freedom Road Socialist Organization and Anak Bayan. What the heck does that mean? So here's the thing that we here at the Nevada Conservative are just more concerned about, is that not so much that these people are voicing their opinion, because people can voice their opinions all they want. That's kind of what makes America great. But the thing that makes this so dangerous is that they're fooling these people into believing that they really care about them, their cause, what they're believing in, and these people don't care an iota. As a matter of fact, what I tend to think that these people are doing is these are all front groups for one and the same Maoist socialist organization that is being propped up by China. The reason why I believe all this stuff is because when you start connecting the dots on all these organizations, you start seeing a pattern that's evolving. And when you see a pattern, you start to say to yourself, why is that pattern so prevalent? And who is behind it? And like I said, I really believe it's China. I believe that the Chinese influence on America is profound, and if we don't get our crap together, folks, we're going to find that China is out here to eat our lunch. Okay, so when we come back, folks, we're going to shift gears just a little bit. We're going to talk a little bit about this, some of the other things that are going on, and I think this is going to be kind of shocking, to tell you the truth. But when we come back, folks, we'll talk a little bit more about things that should make you go, This is Sherman Ray. This is the Nevada Conservative Podcast. We'll be back in just a minute. Alrighty, folks, and we are back, folks. This is Sherman Ray, and this is the Nevada Conservative Podcast. Thank you so much for being a part of the broadcast. This is actually our official kickoff. It really is. We'll just say it's our. Now, we've done this show before, and we actually did it years ago, but this is going to be the first time we're going to actually get it all up there on Apple Podcasts, that whole kind of thing. So just start looking for it. We'll get this up in the next couple of days or so, and you'll be able to check out the podcast. But I want to remind you folks that the Nevada Conservative is a daily magazine. It's a digital magazine. You could check it out every single day. We update it every single day. Well, not every day. I think Saturdays and Sundays, we generally take Saturdays and Sundays off. But those are generally slow news days anyways. But Monday through Friday, we update that, and we get much out there. And we pride ourselves in being the voice of conservatism in the state of Nevada, because we don't have one here. Literally, if you start looking at any kind of news in Nevada, it is all left wing. I mean, there's no doubt about it. The Review Journal used to be, fairly middle of the road, but it's gone. It's gone. And the Sun, it's gone. All of the other guys there's not a conservative news outlet in the state of Nevada. So we decided that we were going to be that. And so you can look for a conservative slant on everything. And let me tell you the reason why, folks. And the biggest reason why is because if all you saw and all you got from your news broadcast was CNN, you would be a full-blown lefty. There's no doubt about it. You'd be a lefty like you wouldn't believe. And we can't have that. There's just no way. I did an article about what was it? The Clark County Republican Party, the Black Coalition, did a fundraiser for a lady by the name of Katie Duncan, and who's running for Assembly District 6, and did a fundraiser for Harrison House. And we had the governor's office was there, the lieutenant governor was there actually. We had candidates there, all the kind of thing. And the Sun newspaper came and covered the story. And so the lady Katie Duncan, sent me the article that the Sun actually put out on the dais. And it was as though there was no Republicans there at all. Literally, the chairman and the vice chairman of the Clark County Republican Party were there in the front row. Every Republican who could be there was there. And the Sun just had a picture of Katie Duncan. Oh, it was a wonderful story about Katie Duncan. And they said not one word about the lieutenant governor or the governor's office making a proclamation saying that this was Harrison House Day. Nothing. And had I not been there writing for the Nevada Conservative, you would never know that there was a Republican there. And that's the danger of only having left-leaning, news outlets. So you need us. You need us, and we need you, and that's really what it's all about. So let's talk a little bit, because we don't have a lot of time here, folks. I really wanted to keep this first broadcast down to about a half an hour or so. I want to talk to you a little bit about the slow creep of liberalism in America, and what I see happening on a daily basis in the educational realm, and now what we see in all of society. Many of you probably noticed this happening, is that President Trump has been trying to get through legislation, or he's been trying to get through, whatever he's trying to get through. And there'll always be, some judge or somebody that will be able to thwart him at every stage that he turns his head to. Well, that is not a coincidence. It's not coincidental that there is a Democrat in power at every level of society. And I'm gonna talk just a little bit about this, folks, because we don't have a lot of time. But I do want to start this conversation, and maybe it'll actually get get you to start thinking about this a little bit. Well, but we have to start back in the beginning. We really have to stop. We have to. Back in the 1860s, when you had slavery in America, and the Republican Party came into power, Abraham Lincoln, and the Emancipation Proclamation, one thing that Democrats said, and I want you to get this. This was not Republicans who said this. This was Democrats who said this. Democrats said something very interesting. They said the South will rise again. You guys remember that? Some of you probably remember that. Well, I believe that they were sounding a clarion call for people to hear them and for their minions to know that they had a plan in place, that they were going to take back power in this country. And it wasn't going to be the kind of power where it's guns and stuff like that. They were going to take political power in America. And for the last, since 1860s, was that, how many years is that? I don't know how many years that is. It's what, 180 years, something like that? 160 years, something like that. They have been positioning themselves in every level of society for such a time as this. And so I'm having these conversations with some very powerful people, and they're going, oh no, the reason why that you have blacks voting for Democrats is because blacks saw the light, and they started voting for FDR during the 1930s, and because no, that's not why blacks started voting for FDR. I believe blacks were sold a narrative, and they were forced into voting for FDR, because up until then, I'm going to back up just a little bit because I know I can jump around a little bit. 1860s happen, Republicans get into office, Emancipation Proclamation. Blacks overwhelmingly voted for the Republican Party, and even our first elected people in office, our first elected representatives in the black society were all Republicans. What did Democrats do? They created, or were partially, partial creators of the KKK. We had Jim Crow laws, we had all this stuff, and all through Reformation, the Reconstruction, I should say, Reconstruction period, you had a wholesale assault on the black community, which was forcing blacks to either become Democrats or hide, don't vote for Republicans, because if you do, guess what? The KKK is coming after you. So by the time Roosevelt came into office, it was pretty easy for blacks to begin to say, okay, I better vote for these Democrats, because if I don't vote for these Democrats, guess what? We're going to die out here. So by then, the voting patterns of blacks began to shift to Democrat. But Democrats were not like going, oh yes, we love you, darky. They were nothing like that at all, okay? Because we still had all kinds of Jim Crow laws, we still had all kinds of segregation, we still had all those things that were still a part of black life. But as long as blacks were voting for Democrats, Democrats really had no reason to change. Okay, I'm gonna and I want you to follow this because we don't have a lot of time on this. I got just a couple more minutes. I'm gonna fast forward, okay? Because I've got a big article I'm gonna be writing about this. You're gonna see this as an op-ed in the Nevada Conservative here in the next couple of weeks. But hear me on this. Over the next number of years, you had Democrats begin to position themselves in office. Have you ever heard of career politicians? You ever notice why most of those career politicians are Democrats? Yeah. You probably heard about this from the Trump campaign, where they were going to fire all these career politicians. And these people said, wait a minute, this is our Washington. You're not getting us out of this, okay? We live here. This is our government. You probably heard of the deep state. Okay, let's for those of you who might be more familiar with that. The deep state. Okay, these people are entrenched in society, and they are not going anyplace. And they're like that. They're what do they call them? They're sleeper cells, and they're not doing anything until they are called on. And that's what we see happening right now. The teachers union. Part of what they've done is the Democrat Party has gotten in with the teachers. Okay, Hollywood used to be Republican. No longer is Hollywood Republican. Media is all 99.9% Democrat. Academia, colleges, okay, those, and now we see them in every echelon in our judiciary. So federal judges. Now, here's the thing about it. Federal judges are there for a lifetime appointment. Okay, they cannot be. You can't just say, okay, I'm going to fire you. You actually have to impeach those folks. And right now, and that's why their Democrats are so up in arms, and they've got their skirts all flustered because they want to have more people in the Supreme Court, because they want a stranglehold on America. So you might be saying to yourself, well, Sherman, no, people vote, certain ways because they think about economics. No, they vote based upon perception is what they're doing. By perception, what people perceive is what they will vote on. Right now, the American economy, though we've got some higher gas prices, is still much better than it was under Biden. And nobody was complaining under Biden. Nobody was. But all of a sudden, you see the media go out there, and the media starts going, oh, everything's just terrible. Oh, this is terrible. Oh. And all of a sudden, people are going, this is the worst thing. And it's the worst thing ever. But they weren't complaining when gas was $7 a gallon. They weren't upset when you couldn't, when you couldn't rent a place to live. No, they didn't. They didn't complain about that at all. It's perception. So I talked to my friend Grok about this. I said, Grok, can you see a pattern of Democrats infiltrating all facets of society? And it had to concede it. It said, you're right. Democrats have positioned themselves throughout society over the last close to 200 years because they want power. And not just power, they want power in perpetuity. Okay? They want it forever. And that's dangerous. Because guess what, folks? We're seeing it right now. We're seeing the manifestation of open borders. We're seeing the manifestation of crime. We're seeing the manifestation of a government gone wild and no checks and balances. Because guess what? In Minnesota, guys, guess what? Those folks, $9 billion, and that's just a low ball estimate. And if we think about California, we're probably talking about $100 billion that has been squandered, and that money went someplace. Remember when Elon Musk and Doge came along at the beginning of the Trump administration, and they saw all this money out there? Guess what? That did not end, you guys. Just because Doge got squashed on it, that didn't mean that money all of a sudden got back in our coffers. It was still being stolen. USAID, folks, guys, that money is gone. And I can almost guarantee you, as I'm a Jamaican man, you're going to find out that money found its way into Democrat coffers someplace. I'm pretty sure. Wow. Okay. Well, we just have a couple more minutes left, folks, and I don't want to spend all day long talking about fraud and about the Democrat Party, but I do want to talk about this. That there's an opportunity here, folks. There really is an opportunity for the Republican Party. There's an opportunity for like-minded folks like us to make a difference in America. But what it's going to take, it's going to take us to doing something more than just listening to a podcast. It's going to take more than just us, going to a few rallies here and there. It's going to take us supporting candidates and legislation that is going to turn this nation back to what our founding fathers believed it could be. Because right now we're seeing a well organized, animated, and motivated electorate on the left doing what we should be doing on the right. And the Nevada Conservative is part of our, I think, part of what we're going to be doing to try to get back in the right direction. So I really encourage you to do this. Here's what you can do. One, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Okay, subscribe when you're there right now. Just go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And then number two, go on Nevada Conservative, our website, the Nevada Conservative. Okay, so I want you to say this again, thenevadaconservative.com, and subscribe to our newsletter, guys. We will put out stuff each and every single week to try to get you in the loop. Okay, we want to get you in the loop because we believe that a educated electorate is, and an informed electorate is a powerful, powerful weapon. And so we want to empower you so that you're not out there going, hey, who do I vote for and should I vote for, anything like that. We don't want you to do that at all. We want you to be the guy that people are asking, hey, what are these things what's going on in my city? What's going on in my town? And we want to empower you so that you can be able to do that in your city. Okay. Anyways, once again, if you've liked what you've heard here today, just write to me at thenevadaconservative@gmail.com. That thenevadaconservative@gmail.com. I'd love to hear from you. Once again, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Go on our website, check it out on all of our social media platforms. We are going to get this podcast up and rolling on Apple Podcasts, and you'll be able to get this pretty quick. Tell your friends all about us. Okay, tell your friends all about us, and we will try to be on here. We're going to try to do this every single day, guys. Yeah, we're going to do this every day. Even if we do a short one, we'll be doing this. But we're going to start filling up our YouTube channel with stuff that you can use and you can tell all your friends about. Anyways, this has been Sherman Ray for the Nevada Conservative. Thank you once again for being a part of the broadcast, folks. We will see you again tomorrow for more of the Nevada Conservative. Thank you once again for being a part of the broadcast. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.